In May 1845, the British Empire believed it had finally conquered the globe. There was only one final prize left to claim: the Northwest Passage, a mythical sea route through the frozen labyrinthine waters of the Arctic. To tear this secret from the ice, the Royal Navy assembled the most technologically advanced expedition of its time. Led by Sir John Franklin, two massive warships, the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror, set sail. They were reinforced with iron plates, equipped with steam engines, and packed with enough preserved food to last 3 years. It was a display of supreme human arrogance, a declaration that British steel could break any fortress nature could build. By July of that same year, a passing whaling ship spotted the two vessels entering Baffin Bay, waiting for the ice to clear. The crewmen waved, confident and smiling. That was the last time any white man would see them alive. As winter descended, the Arctic did what it has done for millennia. It closed its gates. The temperature plummeted, and the moving pack ice surrounded the ships, locking them in a crushing, frozen vice. What the crew didn't realize was that the ice wouldn't melt when summer arrived. They weren't just stranded, they were anchored to a desert of absolute white, thousands of miles from civilization. As the months turned into years, the darkness of the polar night became a psychological cage. In June 1847, Sir John Franklin died on board, leaving the remaining 129 men under the command of Captain Francis Crozier. The isolation was absolute, but a more insidious enemy was already working inside their veins. The expedition's cutting-edge canned food, sealed hastily with lead solder, was slowly poisoning them. Lead toxicity causes paranoia, madness, and physical decay. In the middle of the frozen dark, the world's finest sailors were losing their minds, trapped in an iron box that was systematically destroying them. On April 22, 1848, after nearly 2 years trapped in the ice, the desperate survivors made a fatal decision. They abandoned the Erebus and the Terror. Leaving a brief, haunting note in a stone cairn on King William Island, 105 starving men set out on foot across the frozen wasteland. They dragged heavy wooden lifeboats filled with useless luxury items, silver cutlery, silk handkerchiefs, and books, instead of carrying survival gear. It was the desperate reflex of men trying to hold on to civilization while entering a realm where civilization meant absolutely nothing. The march across the tundra became a slow, agonizing parade of ghosts. One by one, men collapsed from scurvy, exhaustion, and starvation. Oral histories from the local Inuit people later revealed a terrifying truth that Victorian England refused to believe for decades. In their final, desperate weeks, the survivors resorted to cannibalism. The pride of the British Empire had been reduced to a primitive struggle for bone and flesh, scattered across the bleakest landscape on Earth. None of them made it to safety. They simply dissolved into the white silence. For over 150 years, the Arctic kept the secrets of the Franklin expedition buried. Dozens of rescue missions found only scattered bones, discarded silver, and frozen graves of the early casualties whose bodies were perfectly preserved by the permafrost. The HMS Erebus and HMS Terror became ghost ships of legend, phantom vessels that writers and historians chased through old maps and rumors. The failure of the expedition became a monument to the limits of human technology, a chilling reminder that the map is not the territory. Then, the ice gave back what it had stolen. In 2014 and 2016, modern search teams using advanced sonar found the wrecks of both ships, perfectly preserved in the freezing dark depths of the Arctic. The HMS Terror sits upright on the sea floor, its windows intact, its desks still holding books and letters hidden in the silt. Seeing the ship under the water is like looking at a time capsule of human pride, frozen at the exact moment it realized it was powerless against the elements. The technology that was supposed to save them is now just a relic at the bottom of the world. The story of the HMS Terror is not just a tragedy of exploration, it is a lesson in humility. We are a species obsessed with lines on a map, with conquering the wild and taming the unknown. But the Arctic teaches us that there are places that do not wish to be found, and frontiers that do not answer to human ambition. As the cold waters slowly dissolve the remains of the Terror, we are left to look at the horizon and ask ourselves, what are we willing to lose in our desperate rush to conquer the world?